We are here in March. It is March 4th, our first Friday intuition training for March. A lot of stuff going on in the world. Our theme this month is about trust and hope and following your intuition. So a lot of people think of their intuition as a lot of different things, but really that inner feeling, that inner guidance, your inner voice, your soul, your inner witch, whatever it is that you identify with as your inner voice is really your intuition. And you know, Carl Jung is a psychiatrist, and he always would say that intuition revels in the garden of possibilities, which is very true. Our intuition is designed to help us explore things outside of what our brain, you know, our spirit knows way more than our brain does. So like really getting in tune with your spirit and your intuition is really going to draw you more. I see it kind of as a door. Like as soon as you figure out what door your intuition is behind and you open the door, I feel like it opens up to like this whole brand new, like Eden, beautiful sunshine and flowers and butterflies and rainbows and all of that. And so it's really, and some people see it like an intuition as your GPS. But what I want to talk about is there's a lot going on in the world. And I've had lots of conversations with people this week about stress, about not only political stress going on in the world, but also stress going on with like just a lot of personal stuff. A lot of people I've talked to are like, man, I'm feeling the money crunch. Things are stressful. I'm feeling the time crunch. It's a lot of everybody going back to being very busy, going back in offices, going back to meeting with friends and doing things. And even if you love meeting with friends, even if you love entertaining, it's still something we're going to be adjusting back to if we haven't been doing it for all this time. So really a lot of that stress, and what helps me in all of this stress is really trusting my soul, my intuition, because it's taken me a while to develop it. Obviously, we're born with, like someone said, like some millions of synapses or something, and our brain narrows down the synapses that we use. So since we're narrowing down the amount of synapses we use, we're eliminating some things. So now as we've gotten older and we're more aware, we can be more connected, growing back into that can be a lot more difficult, but not impossible. So I really try to, when I get stressed or I meet stress, or let's say I'm up in the middle of the night and I can't sleep because I'm worrying about money, let's say, I really adjust. My husband got me this money plan, this money tree. Anyway, I really try to tune into what the feeling is about the thing. So, you know, intuition helps you with like that deep truth, and it's really usually your gut, right? It's what you hear first and what you're tuning into first. And then what happens is our ego takes over and starts confusing us. Like, so for example, someone might say like, all right, you have to come back into the office and work in person again. And you're like, oh shit, no. But your gut instinct is probably right, because you're probably like, you know, my ego says that sucks, but it's going to be fine, right? It's going to work out. There's benefits. I can be away from my kids. I can be in a physical workplace, more concentrated, or whatever it is. So your initial, you know, ego mind of, oh shit, is not really what you're going with. It's that deep gut. It's what you feel kind of here. I always feel a lot of stuff kind of in my solar plexus or my heart chakra. That's just where I do. You may feel things in your throat or your root chakra or wherever else you might feel feelings. But you know, your intuition helps you to identify those negative patterns and negative thoughts that we've been taught or we've learned throughout our lives. And then it really helps us to lead more fulfilling lives once we're more in tune with our intuition. So what does this look like for me? Like me and one of my business partners, Lily, who's on the call here, we are working on trying to plan a retreat in Asheville, right? So for me, what does this look like? This looks like when we get to conversations with people about doing different activities or booking at a certain place, I'm sitting down and saying, does this feel light? Does this feel airy? Does this feel dark? Does this feel heavy? Now, some of the main identifying things for knowing what's your intuition versus what is fear, which that is one thing that's really, you know, fear is something that a lot of people in society use to control other people. If you watch a lot of TV or you look at a lot of things that are going on, it's really about fear. And a lot of people they utilize that fear, because when you take away someone's ability to like ascertain their own answers, you now control them, right? You know, when you take away their ability to connect, you're taking away their ability to find their own answers. And if they can't find their own answers, they're going to take your answer without challenging it. So really, when you're feeling fear, and this is going to be stuff that's heavy or dark, vague, if something's vague, it's probably fear. If you're like, I don't really know what that feeling is, it's probably fear-based. And when you're like, I don't really know why I feel X, but I just feel so X, right? If it's negative, low vibe, that's fear coming in. That's some kind of fear that you've bought into or owned at some point that you need to start releasing. You know, if you're sitting there with cycles of thoughts and anxiety, like you're sitting there like, oh my God, we're all going to die from a nuclear bomb. We're all going to die from a nuclear bomb, right? If that's your thought, that's fear, okay? If you're like, it's all going to work out, that's great. When you say that though, your body, you can feel the release. You're not like, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. It's not like it spirals the same way negative feelings will spiral. If it's your intuition, if it's something that's guiding you like your GPS, your intuition, it's really light, it's unemotional, it's crystal clear a lot of times. Like you might wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh my God, I have to write a book. I gotta write a book, right? And that's what you wake up in the middle of the night thinking. And it's not like, oh, I think maybe I should put some stuff on a piece of paper. No, it's like, I gotta write a book, right? And, or I'm gonna call the book that I'm gonna title the book this, or I'm gonna make my program and it's going to be called this. I'm going to start doing this thing and it's going to be this, right? You know, it's like, this is it. It just showed up like a present on my doorstep. Okay. That's your intuition. That's your guides helping you navigate. That's your people, your crew, like my husband calls it, like your crew working behind you and supporting you in everything that you're doing. It's inspired and spontaneous. These are your intuition. This is your soul speaking. Your soul's like, fuck the ego. I don't care what your ego thinks. Your ego mind is limited. Here's all the new inspirational, amazing, awesome, and fantastic things that you can do with your intuition. Start doing these things, okay? And one of the biggest things with intuition training that you need to work on is really staying, not retreating back behind that door, right? Staying on the side of the door that's open and intuitive. And even this happens to me. I mean, my husband and even Lily can attest to the fact, and maybe Genevieve too. You know, they can attest to the fact that I'm like, oh my God, money is tight. What am I going to do? And I'll be freaking out. And my husband's like, girl, whatever. You've got like the universe behind you. Stop stressing, stop being anxious, and trust the universe. And that is such, I mean, our ego is constantly testing our trust of the universe because we see things, because our ego sees things as real. And this is kind of woo-woo. But all of this is like a big, like, dream. Our existence here on this earth, our soul chose to come here. Our soul knew all the things that was going on in the world. They knew that this crazy political stuff would be going on. Our soul knew that there's nukes existed and we could all get nuked one day. I mean, our soul already knew all these things and chose to come here anyway as part of the collective consciousness that we're all a part of. And when you tune into your intuition, you can tune into that collective consciousness. And the only thing that you need to do to trust your intuition is to be you, okay? You need to be. Stop doing all of the things that other people say you should do. Stop doing what your ego thinks is important and be and do the things that feel aligned. Be what feels light, airy, unemotional, clear, what makes sense. And if you don't know, get out your journal, spend 5 minutes connecting with your guides, and you say, take the 2 minutes of breathing to really center yourself and take 2 minutes to talk to your guides and say, hey, y'all, what about X? What am I to do? And when they like don't give you the answer you want, keep pushing and see what other answers you get. You have to trust that they're providing you the answers, that Goddess or Source or whatever is going to continue to give you the abundance and the joy and the amazingness that you're here for. And pushing it as you do your 5 minutes. You know, I always recommend, and all the people who follow me know this, it's 5 minutes a day. I'm not asking you to be Deepak Chopra and be meditating for 7 hours a day. You don't have to clear your mind. You don't have to be a monk on the mountain. Okay. All you have to do to connect is spend 5 minutes a day, 2 minutes of breathing, 2 minutes of asking your guides, what do I need to know right now? What do I need to release? And they're there for you. They're going to give you answers. Take that last 1 minute out of the 5 and journal out what they told you, or write it in a notes app on your phone, or really just sit there and contemplate the answers. But don't be afraid. Okay. We are human. Don't be afraid to say, wait a minute, can you go back over that, guides? I don't think I got that all the way. What were you saying? And also don't forget to go back through your journals. I've done that recently and I found like really amazing results of stuff I wrote down during journaling that I totally just didn't remember. So remember that trusting your intuition is what's going to give you that hope to continue on, to move into the next step, to really grow in your feelings, you know? When you feel discouraged, when you feel like I've trusted my intuition and look at this shithole I'm sitting in, right? I felt that. I have felt that feeling like, you know what? I get it. The universe is going to provide, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not trusting it. I'm not getting it. When you're feeling that, you really need to understand that that's a warning that your ego is about to start coming in and trying to like attack. Okay. That's your warning that your ego is starting to be uncomfortable. And as much as you shut your ego up, here it is back in your face. So when you start to feel that discouragement, when you start to feel that those issues, acknowledge your ego. So, hey, bud, hey, Mr. Ego. And remember, I've told you all this before. Call your ego something like Fido or Scout or Max or whatever you want to call your ego, like something you'd name a dog. And when you hear your ego barking, fear, 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 horrible things are happening, don't go down that dark alley, okay? Put your ego outside. Don't go down dark alleys at night. But anyway, put the ego outside like the barking dog. It's easier to ignore a barking dog than it is to say, I have these amazing ego thoughts that are stopping me. So get that dog outside. Name it Fido. But you can say to your ego when you start to feel discouraged and you start to feel like, my faith is waning, my trust in the universe is really being tested. You can say, look, I trust they will always provide me the most amazing and most beneficial experience for my life. So this is where maybe an affirmation or a mantra, you know, I know you guys, I've told you guys this before, but I have my little wall of affirmations here. You like my picture, my kids drew. So I have this wall of affirmations here. So maybe write yourself an affirmation for anxiety or for when you start to feel discouraged. You know, write an affirmation that says something like, the universe has my back. As simple as that. The universe has my back. My guides will always guide me to my highest experience. Okay. And a lot of times we're not going to be able to connect those dots. Okay. So, I have lots of experiences I've had in life. And sometimes you go through things and you're like, I don't totally get it. And I was listening to Mike Dooley this morning and he was talking about what cancer, I think he's had cancer. But so he was talking about somebody he knew that had cancer, right? And how the idea of cancer is like one little bad cell starts to multiply and create other bad cells, and how everything is energy. And when our bad cells start to multiply, it's because we're giving them energy to multiply. Now, I'm not saying cancer is anybody's particular fault, but he was saying that as a cancer survivor, and this person he was talking about had said, never having had the cancer, they never would have been to the amazing life experience they are now, right? So when you look at whatever you're going through, you need to understand, like, okay, I may be up all night afraid that I'm going to be nuked. I have a friend who's buying a bunch of pills. I don't know what they're called, some kind of pills that are supposed to help if your kids get exposed to like nuclear fallout. Okay. And I'm like, why are you even bothering? But, you know, people are doing crazy things because obviously we have someone who's very energetically erratic in power with a lot of power, causing a lot of frustration to everyone else. But that cancer experience creates only the best experience. This experience we're going through as a collective whole is only going to create a better environment for all of us. And there's so much love pulsing around the earth. I mean, there's I just got, you know, chills, but like there's just so much love pulsing. I mean, it's going through all of the fields. I mean, there's so many people that are just like, I'm sending all the energy. We've sent guides. And I read an article about Jeff Bezos sent Starlink, I think it's called. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of like hovering internet. Long story short, since there was like no internet service for some people in the Ukraine who needed it in terms of like how to navigate this situation, they brought these, like, it's Starlink. It's all these little satellites that hover over a place and give it like emergency internet or something. But I thought of that as like, that is what the universe does for you every time you have a problem. That is not that Jeff Bezos is the universe. Don't get confused. But the universe, when you're like, I need a link up, I need the connection. You say, I need it. And the universe is like, girl, we just sent every satellite we could find to zone in on you and focus on what you need. So get those mantras. The universe has my back. The universe provides. I love the universe provides abundantly, or the universe provides me wealth abundantly. But it's not always about money. A lot of fear can be fear for your children or fear for something else. I mean, the first thing you got to do is acknowledge that you're feeling these feels, because once you can get through the feelings, you know, our ego, you know, in like Genevieve said earlier, like, you know, you got to get through like a good cry or whatever you got going on, get through it, and then, you know, put a video or do whatever, or have a glass of wine, whatever it is you got to do, and then move on from it. Acknowledge the feelings that exist. Everyone comes up against human feelings around anxiety, anxiety, stress, and other things. Okay. You know, you may, I have a friend who recently kind of unexpectedly lost her job. You got to trust that that's what the universe wants for you in this moment. The universe wants you to experience that loss of job so that when you get your next job, it might feel a certain way for you. Trust that you're constantly going to be in connection. And the problem that comes in is when we start being like, you know, what do they, in law, they call it something like some kind of intermeddler. Okay. So if you're like, you become the intermeddler between like what your guides want for you and what your soul wants, okay, where you're going, not that your guides have desires, but like what your guides are guiding you to and what your soul is seeking in this life. And then here comes you, human ego brain, going, oh my God, we better get back in the cave before a bear eats us, right? Let me throw fear in there. Let me throw discouragement. Let me throw low vibe stuff. And that's where anxiety comes from. When you know, are 3D, and I don't know if y'all don't understand 3D, 5D. 5D is like enlightened, more awake. And I can send you, there was a really good post about like feelings and 3D, 5D, all this stuff. It's not about labels, but like when you're lower vibration and you're not connecting with your intuition, you're not growing in your intuition, that's when those thoughts start to cycle and start to repeat. And then you're like, oh God, I need medicine. You will get medicine. The medicine helps a little bit because it helps with the ego and the synapses that are creating the negative thoughts. But your brain will always try to find more of what you give it. If you tell your brain, this sucks, I'm broke, your brain's going to be like, sure, let's find every way to see I'm broke. If you say, it's all working out, the universe brings me exactly what I need, the universe provides, you will be provided for. You will, your brain and your spirit and your soul will start to find those solutions for you, okay? So if you're feeling stress and anxiety right now, definitely you're not alone. I've talked to at least 3 or 4 people this week that are like, girl, money's gone, what do I do? I'm one of them, okay? I was flipping out last week, this week, trust me, I've been going through it just like everybody else. And I want you all to also feel those feels, but get them over with. Feel it briefly, let it go. I'm not saying everything's rainbow and butterflies. No, it's not great. You know, if you have an elderly parent who's sick, you know, if someone passes away, these are hard things for us as humans to really process and develop. But don't feel like that's the end all. Know that if you trust your intuition, you start to be present, listen, be calm, be quiet, you know, really sitting. I know I read a post that said being alone is something most people don't have the courage to do. Okay, being truly alone is something most people don't have the courage to do. And I don't mean single, and I don't mean physically alone in a room. I mean people who are willing to truly just be quiet in a place by themselves is really something that takes a lot of courage, because you've got to confront your ego one-on-one and then trust that your intuition will pull you through that. It's not always easy. And that's where the magic happens. Okay, we are all magic. Okay, and I say, if you're breathing, you're psychic. If you're breathing, you're psychic. I do believe that. But really learning to grow that intuition so that you can be so amazing and so awesome. So I want to walk through today just a little. It's going to be like maybe a 5 to 7 minute meditation, because it's really going to be about something you can do kind of at the drop of a hat. If you're starting to feel these like quickened crazy anxiety or fear or discouragement thoughts, 5 to 7 minute quick exercise. Do we still have people here? Okay. Quick exercise to when you start to feel like, how much older I look with on the Zoom on the phone. When you start to feel stress and anxiety and worries, I want you to start doing this meditation. So the first thing I want you to do is, let me see. Okay, I can't fix my old person face. Okay, so the first thing I want you to just kind of get yourself in what Lily taught me is called an easy seat. So kind of just get comfortable. If you're in a car re-listening to this or listening to it now, please do not actually physically drive while you're doing a meditation. Disclaimer. Okay, get yourself in an easy seat. Now I want you to kind of imagine yourself, and you can be sitting or laying, whatever works for you in physical form, but imagine in your mind's eye kind of your body laying on whatever is comfortable to you. If you like to lay in the grass, if you like to lay on the beach, if you like to lay on a really comfortable bed with lots of pillows, whatever is super comfortable, imagine yourself in the most luxurious, comfortable place that a happy place that you can be. So kind of just taking a few deep breaths as you're imagining yourself laying here in this place. Now imagine that for your own energy. Imagine your energy opening up. And I want you to, if you're feeling tightness in your chest or your stomach or your throat, or even in your hips or your pelvic area, really release any of that tension you might be feeling. If you're feeling like you've been rushing around or you've been stressed out, you've been having repetitive thoughts, really release any tightness you feel in any of these chakras, or even in your third eye or crown, wherever you're feeling any tightness. I want you to release that. I want you to really like drop that. Like if you imagine just dropping it on the ground. And you're laying in this really peaceful place and you can hear kind of nature and birds and music and beautiful tones and sounds that bring joy to you. And then from here, I want you to create an imprint on your memory of this. So I want you to snap one time. And then I want you to remember this position of calm and peace and openness, and snap again so that in real time, when you snap, it'll call you back to this place. Take another deep breath. And if you're feeling any tightness, again, releasing that tightness, releasing that worry, fully trusting that the universe will deliver to you your highest experience. If you've got something that's worrying you, I want you to ask your guides, what do I need to do to overcome these worries? What do I need to do to overcome these worries? You can also ask your guides or your intuition, what do I most need to know right now? What do I most need to know right now? Really give it another deep, deep breath of connecting and imagining now white light just like pouring over you and creating this most calm, most peaceful state. If thoughts come up that are not peaceful or that are stressing you out, I want you to really let those thoughts just kind of float by like a cloud in the sky or pass by like a car out on the street. Okay, this is just a passing thought, releasing it after it's passed by. Now imagine yourself kind of waking up from your lying position. And then imagine yourself saying, I am calm. I trust the universe. I am calm. I trust the universe. Kind of wiggle your fingers and toes in real life. And kind of come back to where you are present in the moment. Okay. As you're coming back to being present in the moment, I want you to get a journal if you can, and I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes. I want you to journal out when you ask your guides right in this minute, when you're calm and connected, what is my next aligned step? Whatever comes to mind. Like for me, a rock came to mind. I don't know what that's about, but a rock, okay, came to mind for me. So asking your guides, what is my next aligned step? And writing that out, okay? Even with all the things you have going on, do not jump right back in to that stress and anxiety and craziness that is our physical world, stay in this calm state for a minute and write down, what is my next aligned step? And write that out. And if it doesn't make sense, say, I need better information. Hey, can you repeat that, guides? I want more information. And then, right? So you ask, like, okay, do this, and do this, and then. This is you connecting. This is you pushing the envelope. This is you being in connection, in balance, in everything right this minute. So I'm going to give you guys like about 2 minutes to try to journal out or write out whatever your next aligned step is. Okay, so for me, I got that rock. Remember, I said I got that rock, and then it was like covered in a pink cloth, and then someone was dancing on the rock. So I don't know. I guess the message I ultimately got was to record myself dancing this weekend. Don't know what that means, but whatever you got, if it doesn't make sense, spend some time later meditating. I wanted to say this earlier and I forgot. The thing with anxiety and negative thoughts and negative ego thoughts are it physically starts to manifest in our bodies. Okay. It may cause you to eat. It may make you not eat. It may cause you to start to have cancer or other bad done cells. It may make you feel stressed. It may physically affect your hips, your shoulder. You may cause tension in a body part, in a whatever body part. Okay. So really tuning into what is the negative feeling that I'm having, letting that feeling kind of wash over and go away, taking the deep breath and reconnecting then in terms of figuring out, what am I going to do to overcome this? How can I connect with my intuition? When you trust your intuition, you have hope that it's all going to work out. I literally do not worry. I do not worry about, I do get moments where I freak out about financial stuff, or I freak out about one or two other things, right? And I have had moments this week where I'm like, Russia's going to murder us all. But I also know that I trust that the universe, there are people that are coming together, especially in terms of that Russia junk, like just with their hands open in circles and in droves, sending energy and vibes to the situation. So, I don't worry about it because I know that whatever happens is going to be for my soul and the universe as a whole, as our collective consciousness, the good of all of us. And I know that with everything. I know that when it comes to, let's say I got into a car accident, same thing. This accident was for my best. When I'm running late, getting out of the house, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this running late is avoiding an accident, right? Maybe me running late is going to make me coincidentally run in. I don't believe in coincidences, but like unexpectedly run into someone else that I wasn't expecting to run into. All the different things are super, like, you can't plan them. Okay. You just have to trust that what you're doing is aligned. And no, it's not like all of a sudden one day I woke up and I could easily make all these aligned steps. So I just went back to laying down on my bed in my head because I snapped. But it's not like I woke up one day and could just take aligned steps. And you all know that I know a lot of the people on this call have worked on this for years and years and years. But it's when you take the aligned step, stop looking backwards. Stop looking back like, why did I do that? Or how come this happened? You can look back and say, what lessons have I learned? What did my soul learn from this? What was my soul seeking in this? But stop looking back and judging yourself with your ego, through the lens of your ego. You don't look at the mirror where your eyelashes, where your eyeliner is smudged, and try to fix the mirror. No, you fix your physical face. So fix what's going on with you, not what reflection you think you're seeing of you. Your reflection of you should be your most authentic self. And when you're trying to just fix the reflection, it doesn't work. If you look at yourself in water and you try to like fix the water to make you look prettier, that doesn't work, right? I want you to tune in to trusting, asking your guides, what am I learning from this? Where am I going with this? What is my next step? And if you're confused and whatever, you all know I will hop on a coaching call with anyone. I will talk to you on the phone. I will work it through. I will talk it through with any of you. So I hope that this helps. Really doing the meditation and doing the snapping when you start to feel anxious or anxiety coming in, or you start to feel fear or negativity or heavy. If you just snap once and you do this meditation once or twice, then when you snap once, it'll take you right back to kind of laying calmly on your bed and really tuning into, what do my guides want me to know? What is my gut saying? What is it that is truly going on aside from all the noise out here, all the stress and anxiety? Because there's a ton of noise and everybody has an opinion about everything, okay? I seek opinions from my guides, the spirit energy, my guides, and occasion and cards and things. But like, I don't seek opinions, maybe from my husband, because obviously like what I do affects him a lot more directly than others. And I have a close-knit group of friends, but I don't seek opinions, y'all. It's not, and when I do things and there's someone else who has an opinion, that's a them thing, not a me thing. They're looking at me through the lens that they have. They're looking at, I'm the only me and I'm the only one who knows me. They look at me as someone different. You might look at me as someone different than my husband looks at me as, then my kids look at me as. I am, what I see as my authentic self is only one thing. It's only one thing. And what everyone else sees me as is like, whatever it is, it's whatever they see me as, it's whatever way I fit into their energetic field. So don't go out seeking opinions, go inward seeking opinions, because when you ask your guides and when you turn out all that noise is tuned out, you can follow your intuition. You already know how to do it. Your soul knows how to follow your intuition, how to trust it, and how to really find hope and joy in everything that happens to you, no matter how horrific or stressful or awful the situation seems to be. So I want to quickly do a card pull. I want to tell you guys, I'm super, super excited for all of you that follow me. I finally got my book, my physical copy of my book. It is amazing. It is a spiritual journal. It tells you all about like meditation and mindfulness. And then I go into a bunch of journal pages where you can write down all these things I'm talking about. So if that calls to you, you can get that on Amazon. I can also send you guys a link, but also there's so much awesome and amazing stuff going on. I've got 2 psychic fairs in the next 30 days that I'm like super pumped for. Like, so much amazing stuff is going on. And if amazing things are going on for you, please let me know what I want to hear. Let me do a 3-card pull. I am going to do this 3-card. Well, let's see what I want to do. Okay, the first one's going to be like how to stop stressing. The second one is going to be, where are we going to find joy in the next month, like before our next intuition training? And the last one is going to be what we most need to hear right now. Okay, so what do we need to stop stressing about? And these are, for those of you, I didn't tell you guys, okay, this is for my Soul's Journey card deck. These are one of my favorite cards. I feel like they're really good at calling people out on their bullshit. They're just some of my favorite cards. So the first card, I said, this is what we need to stop worrying about and stop stressing about. And it's love. I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things. Y'all, see this card? You guys watched me pull these cards randomly out of this deck, okay? Love. Commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things, okay? No matter what you're going through, trust your universe is bringing you the most amazing experience. I'm seeing people doing playing Ring Around the Rosie, like everyone's holding hands and spinning in a circle, and I'm seeing love kind of just floating out of the middle. I'm really feeling chatter, so I'm seeing the chatter and then a no sign. So if we all get together and stop bullshitting and chatting and bringing each other down in fear, we are going to find that love. So release all that fear. Release any thought that anything could be anything other than good. Really believe that everything comes in love. I forget the second card. What was it? It was, oh, this is what we need to focus on the next 30 days. Abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Okay. We are manifesting machines, y'all. We are truly manifesting machines, and we are limitless. Our souls are limitless. This is a dream. This is a figment, y'all. Our physical reality is what we see of it. I mean, these things are not real. These cards are not real. I'm not real. My physical body's not real. This money tree is not real. Whatever it is, it's not real because our minds and our souls are experiencing this on a whole different dimension that you can't even experience. I'm seeing people trading blankets, exchanging blankets, and then the blanket becomes a horse, and then the horse becomes a house. I don't know what this is about, but that's what I'm seeing, right? So it's saying that, like, when you trade, when you exchange energy, you're growing. Every experience you have gets you something bigger. The blanket became a this, okay? So you're experiencing all these amazing things every time you're leveling up even more, right? So, you know, each thing you get is better than the last, and everything you do is going to keep this momentum of spiritual energy going. Don't throw away the blanket because you don't think it's worth something. Don't throw away any feelings and don't throw away the experiences that the universe is bringing you, because that is abundance for you. That is tapping into this abundance of limitlessness. Each thing you do is a part of the whole. It's not about what little tiny things. It's really about manifesting what you truly, truly desire in your real world, in your reality, and taking each experience and molding it into what you want and what you need, and not letting that stress, fear, and anxiety get involved. And then this is, I forget what this one was now. My brain went loop. But this one says loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. And really, truly, this goes to these thoughts you have of anxiety. And this is like where we want to focus our energy. Don't ever believe that you're truly lonely. Everyone is experiencing life right now. We're all here in the physical realm, okay? And when you realize that each experience that happens is never happening in a vacuum, that is because you're getting your guides are always with you, y'all. And I always feel mine kind of behind me, but your guides are always with you. You're never truly alone. And when you experience something, it's not happening to you, but for you, okay? And you're going to have to say, I'm never alone, because my guides will always help me to decipher what these experiences are, where I'm going. Why am I broke? Why am I waking up with an overdrawn notification? Why am I having stress and anxiety over finances? Why am I sitting here losing sleepless nights over some guy Putin I never even met, okay? Because you're not alone, because you experience life in conjunction with other people, in conjunction with life. You experience life in connection with the soul consciousness, the collective consciousness that we are all a part of. And when you release to your guides the ability to bring you the wisdom, when you trust the universe enough to give you the experiences you need to take you exactly where your soul wants to be, you no longer have to feel alone or worry alone. You no longer have to worry. And I'm seeing like a rabbit and then a springboard. And then my springboard is usually my symbol for like when something's going to take off or really be successful. But I'm seeing like a rabbit running around munching on grass. And then I saw the springboard. So it's spring in America, about to be spring in America. We are, and I mean, I think Australia is like opposite us, but it's spring for most people. The world's kind of coming back to life. The bunny rabbits will be out and all of this. It's really a time to realize that you've got a team of people. You've got your crew with you all the time. And besides having your crew with you, the universe has brought into you with connection with other souls in this lifetime. And you've created a soul contract with others in this life to really flourish and really deep dive into experiences you want to experience in this lifetime, and how to use the old experiences you had in the last time and really bring it in and know people and grow in a way that your soul's learning to manipulate that energy, so that when you go back to the other side, you have more knowledge of how to manipulate energy. Our souls love being on Earth. It's super fun. You're not alone. If you look in the picture on here, it's the world with all these people holding up a light. Okay, we are holding up the universe around our world. We are getting it in. If you look at the top, they're all holding up candles, like glowing candles. We are the light for each other. We are there for each other. Oh, I got a really tight heart chakra there for a second. But we are there for each other. So really hold each other up in a way that is organic, but don't drain yourself for others, okay? But hold each other up. Value the soul contract. Value the relationship between two souls being physically present on this earth at the same time. Really do that. So that was like a good, strong message. It really fits in with what I'm talking about, where we need to drop the low vibe, trust that whatever we're experiencing is the universe's most amazing experience for us right now in this lifetime at this time. Just really connecting with that and growing with that and being just the most trusting. And trust is hard. And you know what? Don't let people fool you with this. Trust needs to be built. Okay, yeah, trust between two humans. Test out different things. So you start to learn how you're take a 52 card deck and either go deck suit by suit and guess numbers, or with a friend guess, is it a red or a blue, black card? Oh, it's red. Okay. Is it a heart or a diamond? Oh, it's a heart. Yeah. Okay. Is it a 9 or a 2? It's a 9, right? Going through and guessing the cards will help you to learn the messages, will help you to learn what does it physically feel like for me to feel a yes, and what does it feel like for me to feel a no. Doing that really there's other ways, and I talked about it on my 222 program that I did last week, or 2 weeks ago, maybe it was almost. Anyway, on my 222 program, I talked about really how to test your intuition and learn to grow and feel it out. You don't have to learn to build trust in your intuition. You just got to learn to speak its language. So choosing to trust your guides and knowing that the language will make sense to you is such an amazing part. So I hope this has been really helpful for people. That was what Spirit wanted us to say today. I'm going to stop recording so we can have a little bit of conversation. So again, for those of you who don't know me, I am Natalie Thomas. I am a psychic medium and a spiritual mentor. I help people who want to connect on a spiritual level, either to their guides or with their intuition, to really grow in intuition. I also host retreats and go to lots of events where I'm trying to help people to connect. If you've got little light workers, I've got an event coming up in June, and I'm going to start helping more women and moms and dads to learn how to encourage their children and really get their children, learn to feel safe with their children's gifts. It's not going to be for the public.